This is Community Forum, a public affairs presentation of Mackenzie River Broadcasting. Each week we learn about issues affecting our community with your host, Liz Kelly.
Good morning, I'm Liz Kelly, and I'm joined this morning by Stacy Sisk of American Cancer Society. She has a great title, the Community Relationship Manager, otherwise known as Staff Partner. Good morning, Stacy. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Liz.
Tell me a little bit about your title and what that means you do for American Cancer Society.
Oh, absolutely. Well, basically, I help manage all the volunteers, the wonderful people that help put on the events to raise money to find a cure for cancer. So in other words, I'm also a fundraiser. So I'm looking for sponsors and things like that to help these communities have a successful event. And so, I work with lots and lots of volunteers in different communities.
And one great fundraiser coming up is Relay for Life. And we're going to be talking about that because it's, of course, the one in Eugene is large and established, but there are some new Relay for Lives, and we're going to be talking about that with you. But first, Let's talk about you and how you got to be a part of American Cancer Society, because you have a very interesting and inspirational story.
Oh, yes, gosh. It is a different story that not everybody has. Basically, I married the love of my life, back in 2006, and I married Hank knowing that he had cancer. I knew that if we had 3 months, that would be wonderful, and if we got 10 years, it would be even better. And so we started the journey right away of him going through cancer treatments every other week. And a year and a half into our marriage, lo and behold, I was 36 years old, diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer.
And the younger you are when you're diagnosed with breast cancer, the more critical it could be potentially. Is that correct?
It could. I mean, they even said if I would have gotten pregnant, I wouldn't have survived the pregnancy. And if I didn't find it when I did, I wouldn't have lived 3 more years because it was already in my lymph nodes. And it was pretty serious. So, but also the good thing about finding it when you're younger is they can treat it more aggressively because your strength and you're younger, you can handle a little bit more. So there's good things about that.
So here you are, a newlywed, and you took on knowing that Hank was ill, but because he was the love of your life, it was worth the risk and worth the time. And then you find out you have breast cancer a year and a half later.
Yeah.
What's that like? What do you do? How do you give each other the strength that you need? Because you also have children. You both brought kids into the family as well.
Yeah, we had a blended family. We had 3 beautiful girls, and it rocked our world. It was something we had to really wrap our heads around. It was really tough for Hank because he knew what I was going to have to go through, and he did not want me to have to experience that at all. And as a care provider, when I was caring for him, I thought I understood what he was going through. And boy, when I got started doing chemotherapy and stuff, I remember many nights looking at him going, "Oh, honey, I had no idea." So walking a mile in someone else's shoes, going through chemotherapy and radiation and all that stuff, it's an eye-opener.
What was your treatment?
I had what was called a dose-dense treatment, which was 4 different drugs for chemotherapy. And that was every other week. Hank and I went together every other week and we shared a doctor's appointment, and then we both sat in the chairs, and that was kind of our date night, our date day, 5 hours in a chemo chair together. And then I also had this amazing drug that was called Herceptin. And I don't know the statistics exactly, but I've heard that they're really close to saying it's going to be a possible cure for the type of breast cancer that I had. And that treatment was every other week for a year. And it was given the same as chemo, and an infusion into my port. And that is like a targeting agent. And that came about because of relay dollars. American Cancer Society is the one that funded a scientist to start the studies on that way back in the late 70s, and the late 80s is when the first woman actually got to try that.
So is this the first time the American Cancer Society had come into your mind? We've all heard of American Cancer Society, but all of a sudden they're an organization that's helping you out.
Exactly. And that is the first time. My husband and I were very, outgoing people, and we were very young. And gosh, how often does a husband and a wife at such a young age get cancer? So we really stepped up to the plate to try to help others. And that's where we started learning about our drugs, and we started learning more about American Cancer Society, and definitely volunteering anytime we could to help the cause.
Now, your treatment, how long were you treated for breast cancer before you were finally given a clean bill of health?
Sure. from beginning to end was just about 2 years. I had a total of 7 surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, and I'm still, October will be 5 years. Hopefully, knock on wood, I can say I'm 5 years in remission in October. I'm still taking a drug called tamoxifen twice a day, and hopefully I'll be able to stop taking that. But it was about a 2-year battle from the start of removing cancer to the finish of reconstruction surgery.
Well, and it's a wonderful end to your story. Unfortunately, Hank didn't win his fight against cancer.
But there's good things about it, and I have to share that.
We want the good.
The good thing was, in the beginning, when they found he had cancer, he had a rare form of gastrointestinal, which was in all the open abdominal areas and started to shut down organs. They gave him 6 months. And he had such a positive thinking. I mean, he believed that he could beat this. And many, many times we came to the abyss and came back and came to the abyss and came back. He lived 6 years, and we got 6 beautiful years, and 6 years that his children were able to make more memories with Daddy. So that is also in thanks to some of the other American Cancer Society drugs. He got a drug called, what was it called? I just went blank. It'll come to me. But his drug was a targeting agent as well, similar to the kind that I had. And that, again, came from relay dollars that all these volunteers have helped to raise to find a cure. So, with finding a cure, I think that's great. And I hope to work myself out of a job one day. But in the meantime, they are finding wonderful drugs that can prolong your life and, again, make beautiful memories with your family. And it really, truly keeps you focused on making memory-making moments.
Well, and cancer is a disease that it encompasses so much anymore. It's not a death sentence. And there are so many different forms of cancers that are coming out. Everybody in some way has either a friend or a loved one or themselves that have had to go through either a scare or a full treatment for cancer. Let's talk a little bit about the American Cancer Society, which there are lots of cancer organizations that target one specific cancer, whereas ACS kind of encompasses all of them. Who is American Cancer Society? How did they start, and how are they helping people in our community?
Gosh, great question. I'm not sure if I have all the answers to that, but because I'm just learning. But they do. That's the one thing I am really excited about and honored to work for them is they are encompassing all of the cancers. I love the fact that some are only specifically for one cancer type or another. But, when I look at my own family, yes, I had breast cancer, but my husband, didn't. And so I want to so badly to support an institute that is helping to fight all cancers, because everyone needs their mommies and their daddies and their whole family together. And it's not just one type of cancer. So American Cancer Society, a lot of the dollars go towards finding a cure for cancer, doing research, funding those scientists to study every single day, trying to find something that's going to either prolong our life or cure the cancer. And that's the majority. The other part of American Cancer Society is helping with services and with programs to help people that are going through the battle. There's like Road to Recovery, helping people get to their appointments if they can't drive. There's Look Good, Feel Better, where women can come in and get wigs and learn how to put eyebrows back on and feel good about themselves. There's so many different programs and services that a lot of people don't understand or realize they're there. In fact, when I was going through it, I didn't, because you get so overwhelmed with all the details, you don't hear everything that people are telling you. So share with your friends that need some help, that call American Cancer Society, get on the website, find out what's offered in your area.
So when you call American Cancer Society for the initial phone call, you pick up, you say, I'm going to find out what they can do for me or for my family member or loved one. Take me from that initial phone call to how they can help you through your treatments.
Sure. There's a 1-800 number, and the relay dollars actually go to help fund that. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it doesn't matter if you are having an episode after chemo and you're up at 3 a.m. in the morning, you can call that number. There's counselors on there that can help you, just kind of guide you. Is this normal? Kind of just reassure you that you're doing the right things, or, things like that. They can also refer you to a patient navigator or different types of people that work with American Cancer Society to get them to the next level of what they're needing.
What is a patient navigator?
They kind of guide you and help you to find resources that you're needing if you need to maybe talk to a counselor or get involved in a support group, or, finding other resources. If it's something that they need help getting to their doctor's appointment, maybe they can refer them to Road to Recovery. So it's just a resource person that can really help navigate them through this battle.